Okay, this is the last video of this unit. It's also the last video that I'm recording. I've done them all at once. So anyhow, this is section 10.2.2, and this is one of the harder sections to do because we have to consider many different possibilities. And actually, there was a mess up on the last screen. That should say the law of sines. We're still dealing with the law of sines. And we're dealing with a special situation with the law of sines, which is why I broke it up into 2 lessons, because this is a little on the difficult side. Hold on, I need to go back and look at this stuff. Alright, so, okay, hang on, I want to move that thing out of the way. I'm going to pause the video. Alright, so what happens when we have side-side angle? Side-side angle does not give us a definitive triangle. Okay, you can't actually draw the triangle with side-side angle. You have 3 possibilities. The first one is what happens if your angle that you don't know, alright, or one of your angles that you don't know, is less than 90. Okay, you could end up with a situation where the side is too short and the triangle doesn't show up. Okay, you could end up with a situation where it's perpendicular and it's 90 degrees. That's only one. There's only one possibility there. But there is this possibility here where we have this A. It could be here and it could be here, which means we could have 2 different B angles. Okay, so so if little a is less than b, okay, we have 2 solutions. If little a is greater than or equal to b, we have 1 solution. Now, I just want you to notice that there's so many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possibilities with side-side angle. Okay, so this is another one of those charts I will probably give you on the test. So on this test, you won't get a note card, but you will get a formula sheet. It will have this. It will have the chart for the inverses, and it will also have the formulas for cosine and sine rule. All right, so you'll get all of those. Now, there's the situation also where A, the angle A, is bigger than 90. And you have a possibility of no solution, and we have a possibility of 1 solution. So the only time where you could have 2 possibilities is if angle A is less than 90 degrees, and we end up here where A is less than B, or A is greater than or equal to B. So there's 2 possibilities here, and I will show you what happens where you're always going to consider that other possibility. So here we go. Here's another rule. Oops. This went too fast when I was doing this. I was in a hurry. I wanted to get done. Okay. So, okay. So here we go. So this idea that if the sine of 80 is also the sine of 180 minus theta, so I could, so anytime you have a possibility where you have another second angle that it could possibly be, we have that situation where there's 2 solutions, you're going to take 180 minus theta. Alright, so that is how, and it's because of this rule. So let's look at an example. So here I have a triangle, BC, I don't know what happened to my, BC and big C. And we're going to, first of all, solve for B. So, because we're given C, so B is the only one that I can solve for. So I need to solve for B, and then I'm going to see if there's another possibility of a second B. So let's start with using the sine rule. So sine B equals little b sine C over C, okay, equals 30 sine 60 over 50, which is 0.1596, and then I take the sine, the inverse sine of that, okay, and I end up with 31.3. So that is 1 possibility for angle B. Now, keep in mind, this is the only time we use this if we have side-side angle. So you may not have to draw your triangle to figure out if it's there. So then I'm also going to see, well, what's my other possibility? So I go 180 minus 31.3 equals 148.7. So that's my other possibility of an angle. So then I'm going to see, is this really a possibility? So I'm going to go 148.7 plus 60 equals 208.7. And the 60 right here, this came from this angle that I already have, which is 208.7. Now, you know that angles, when they add up together, they have to be 180, all three angles. And this one I only have two, and it's more than 200. So this is not possible. So I only have one solution. Once I've determined that I only have one solution, I can go ahead and continue with that. If it's possible that I have two, I actually have to do all the work for both solutions. So I'm going to say that's my B. Okay. So B equals 180 minus 31.6 minus 88.7. A equals 88.7. And then sine of A equals A sine B over B. So I'm going to plug in numbers. Apparently I've forgotten I plugged in a number there. So I'm plugging all the numbers. Again, this is all formula work, guys. Really, really not difficult. This part's difficult right here, but other than that, it's not. So then A equals 57.7. So there is that triangle. I found all three pieces. Now, here's your practice problem. Okay, little a, little b, and big A. This is side-side angle. You're going to go ahead and plug into the formula and see what happens. Okay, this will give you actually quite interesting solution. See what goes on. Okay, so here's my solution. And you'll notice if I solve this, sine B equals 106, and I can't have an angle B whose sine is greater than 1. So this has no solution. And this is always a possibility as well. Okay, so now I'm going to use the sine rule to actually do word problems. Instead of forest fire spotted from two fire towers, the triangle determined by the two towers has angles of 28 and 37 degrees at the tower vertices. If the towers are 3,000 meters apart, which one is closer to the fire? So what we're going to do is we need to find basically those two lengths, okay? So we have the two lengths of the triangle. We're going to let A equals 28 degrees and B equals 37. It really doesn't matter, just as long as I go ahead and label them. And then obviously the length C is 1,000 because the angle in between the two is the one that we don't know. So we're going to find angle C. 180 minus 27 minus 37 is 115. And now we're going to use these values to find the two lengths. So just plug it into the formula. And the first one I get, A, is 1,554. I'm going to do B as 1,000 times sine 37 over sine 115. I'm going to end up with 1,992. So since B is a bigger angle, the tower is the furthest away from, so it's because B is 1992, but this is the bigger angle. So it's form with angle B. And that is the end. I'll see you tomorrow.